Thank you. So, this morning we received a truly extraordinary teaching.
今天早上呢，我们从仁波切那边接收到了非常好的教授。
I felt that Rinpoche was bestowing upon each one of us the seed of bodhicitta.
我很深刻的感受到呢，仁波切呢，就是给予我们在座的每一个人这个菩提心的种子。
Something is pulling me from the back. Oh, I have a lot of things here. Yeah. It's like a little dog sitting next to me. But actually it's two little dogs.
小狗坐在我后面。
One year when Chungla Rinpoche he went to India and he asked me to stay in his house in New York a long time ago. And he had a cat, a black cat called Jack Benny. And when I was living with the cat for a few months, so I would touch the cat like this and the cat would go and that was our relationship. I fed the cat and then after many of these I stopped paying attention to the cat. I fed him and that was it.
就是很多年前呢，有一次呢，仁波切呢，仁波切自己到印度去，然后呢要求我待在那个仁波切在那个纽约的家中。当我待在那个仁波切的家里面的时候，那个家有两只猫，有一只黑猫， 然后呢，就是说我通常呢会喂食这些黑猫，然后我也会去摸摸这只猫。可是那只猫呢对我是有点凶的，就是会向我咆哮，然后用爪子抓我。然后呢，这我一段时间呢，我觉得够了，我就喂它一次。后来我就不太理它了。
And then it got a little cold. It was cold in New York. And as I was sitting and doing my meditation, I realized that the cat had come and was sitting right next to me.
后来呢，纽约天气变冷了。后来呢，当变冷那有一天呢，我就是在静坐，在禅修。后来呢，我很惊讶，我后来发现了那只小猫竟然跑来坐在我后面，依偎着我的身体做靠枕。
Just like this.
就像那个无线传输机一样。
I don't know which one is nicer, this or the cat.
我不知道是这个无线电那个机器或者是猫哪一个比较好。
So, Rinpoche mentioned that he mentioned the two methods for generating bodhicitta, and then taught the sevenfold cause and effect method, and specifically began with a teaching on how to develop equanimity.
那仁波切今天早上的教授中呢，提到了修菩提心的两种方法。那接着呢，仁波切接着呢，就是一步一步的教导我们，就是这个七重因果的教授。那在教授之前呢，仁波切呢就是很仔细的介绍怎么样去修习这个所谓的平等省。
So we will begin our meditations with the development of equanimity according to the sevenfold cause and effect method.
那我们接下来观修当中呢，我们首先要修习这是平等省。那这个平等省呢，是在这个七重因果教授基础下的平等省。
Where you think of a friend and an enemy, and you visualize them before you, and you begin by really seeing the basis for your attitude towards each, the attachment that you have towards the friend, and the anger and hatred that you have towards the enemy.
那在修习平等省的时候，我们首先要想象，在我们两前呢有两个人，一个是我们敌人，另一位是朋友。这个时候呢，我们要去仔细的观察我们对这两个不同类型的人的态度，他的这个态度的基础，我们要去看到呢，就是说我们对朋友的会升起贪爱心，对于敌人呢则会升起嗔心。
I'm sorry. I feel that maybe first we should meditate on contemplating the benefits of bodhicitta.
我很抱歉，我觉得我们一开始呢，应该要先来思维修习菩提心的利益。
I think that in analytical meditation, to really cultivate an appreciation for the benefits, the qualities of bodhicitta is important.
那我认为呢，在做这个观察修当中呢，要能够修到真的能够欣赏到这个菩提心的利益是非常重要的。
And as Rinpoche said, the first chapter of the Bodhisattva Avatar of Shantideva is the most inspiring writing on the benefits of bodhicitta.
那仁波切在今天的课程当中呢，也提到的，就是入菩萨行论的第一章，这个菩提心第一章，是在所有论点里面呢，对，就是说要让人了解菩提心利益，最令人启发的一个章节。
So for this first session, if you wish to read that, you may sit quietly and read it. But what you're really trying to develop a recognition of, a feeling for, is the wonder of bodhicitta.
就是在我们第一座的观修当中呢，就是说你可以就是翻开书本去阅读的菩提心利益那个章节， 然后呢，最重要的是，在你思维休息过后呢，你要能够去发现、去了解到菩提心的它的那个非常殊胜的利益。
That it is the best thing for removing our negativities, the best thing for generating merit, the best thing for being able to help others.
就是我们要了解到菩提心呢是最能够帮助我们极致进追的一种方法，同时呢，它也是最能够让我们去帮助他人的一种方法。
So, at the end of the meditation, you pray that you may be able to benefit, that you may be able to generate bodhicitta. You pray to the Buddha, you pray to Avalokiteshvara, you pray to Kuan Yin, you pray to whomever your lamas, you pray that you may be able to generate bodhicitta.
那在我们观修的最后呢，我们要向诸佛菩萨祈愿，我们可以去对释迦牟尼本师、释迦牟尼佛，或者是观世音菩萨，或者对我们的上师去做祈愿，祈愿我们的心中呢能够升起菩提心。
And then from the Buddha, from Kuan Yin, think of nectar coming and removing all obstacles to be able to generate bodhicitta.
然后接着呢，我们要观想呢，从佛陀那边呢降下来的甘露到我们身中呢，然后尽除一切障碍，特别是尽除那些会阻碍我们升起菩提心的那些障碍。
And you also pray not only that you generate bodhicitta, but that each and every other sentient being may generate bodhicitta.
我们除了为自己的祈愿，就是要希望升起菩提心之外，我们也要为所有的一切有情祈愿，一切有情都能够升起菩提心。
And so, just as the nectar that comes from the Buddha or from Kuan Yin removes the obstacles to your generating bodhicitta, that nectar goes to all sentient beings and removes the obstacles to their generating bodhicitta.
就像佛陀呢降下了甘露到我们身中，尽除了升起菩提障碍。就像是吧，我们也要想象这些甘露呢，同时也降到一切有情的这个身心当中，尽除帮助他们尽除让他们升起菩提心的障碍。
So first we will meditate on our breath.
那首先呢，我们要来观呼吸。
So sit straight.
请坐正。
Chin slightly tucked in.
下颚微微往内缩。
With your hands one to the other, with your thumbs touching.
将一手掌置在另一只手掌之上。
Looking down the slant of your nose.
眼睛这个视线呢往下，沿着鼻梁往下视。
With your tongue just touching the top of your mouth.
舌头呢抵着上颚。
Okay, and you remember that this is not a breathing exercise. This is observing your breath exercise.
要记得，这个并不是呼吸一种运动或练习，而是要去观察我们的气息。
You are watching the breath go in and out and counting.
那我们要去观察我们气息的进出，然后数息。
And developing the ability to bring the mind back to the breath when it goes away.
那我们要培养，就是说，当心飘走以后，接着能够把心抓回来的这种能力。
Okay, we'll do this for 7 minutes.
接下来花7分钟时间来数息。
Now, when you're doing this, watching your breath, please don't think that it's bad that your mind has gone. Don't judge yourselves. What's wonderful is that you are working at remaining focused, and that you eventually catch your breath at your mind and bring it back to the breath.
就是当你在观察我们呼吸的时候，就是如果你的心不小心跑走了，这个时候呢，你不应该就是觉得这是不好的，或者去批判自己。你要知道，就是说我们如果能够持续的努力，然后试着将我们的心呢专注在我们呼吸上，然后练习当我们心跑走的时候呢，把它抓回来，这样就非常好。
Last night there was one question about how we can engage in calm abiding meditation in our daily lives. Simply every morning doing a little bit of this before you do any other practice, simply bringing the mind and the breath together is very helpful.
在昨天晚上的问答当中呢，有人问到如何在日常生活中呢来修习禅定，就是说这个就是一个方法。如果能够每天早上在你做所有事之前呢，都练习的像这样熟悉的练习，然后试着把注意力呢，就是集中在我们的呼吸上，这样做呢就非常好。
Okay, so now we shall contemplate the benefits of bodhicitta. And as I say, if you would like to read the first chapter of the Bodhicharyavatara,
那接下来的观修呢，我们要去思维菩提心的利益。那如果你想要这么做，如果你希望就是透过阅读入行的话，你就是可以把就是你入行论的第一章打开，然后边读边思维。
Read silently to yourselves and really contemplate the benefits of bodhicitta.
然后我们可以就是说在内心中呢默诵这个入行论的第一品，然后接着呢在心中去思维菩提心的利益。
And this reading and contemplating is analytical meditation.
那这种边读然后边思维呢，就是一种观察修。
So, when you've recognized the benefits of bodhicitta for yourself, for others, for removing non-virtues, for generating merit.
当你了解到呢，这个菩提心它有菩提心呢，它能够帮助你还有他人呢，你的极致进退的时候
You then pray that you pray to the Buddhas that you may generate bodhicitta, and that all sentient beings may. And then you receive the nectar, and you imagine that all sentient beings are receiving the nectar that remove the obstacles to bodhicitta.
那接着呢，当你认出菩提心的利益之后呢，接着你向诸佛祈愿，愿自己还有一切有情人都能够升起菩提心。接着观想呢，就是从诸佛那边呢降下的甘露到你的身中，以及降下甘露到一切有情的这个身中，然后尽除了升起菩提心的障碍。
So we'll do this for 10 minutes.
那我们接下来花10分钟时间来观修菩提心的利益。
So I saw many of you holding your phones. It's wonderful that on your phones you have the Bodhicharya Avatara.
看到在座有许多人拿着你的手机在看，那我觉得呢，你们手机里面呢有这个入菩萨行论呢是非常好的一件事。
I have the New York Times.
我手机里面有《纽约时报》。
But I think if you can read the New York Times and think about the suffering that exists in cyclic existence, that can also help generate bodhicitta.
可是话说回来呢，如果你能够在读《纽约时报》的时候呢，你可以从《纽约时报》的报道当中看到很多轮回的痛苦这样呢，这样也可以帮助你升起菩提心。
But the first chapter of Shantideva's Bodhicharya Avatara is truly inspiring.
但是呢，就是吉天菩萨的入菩萨行论的第一章呢，确实是非常令人启发的。
So the first thing, so bodhicitta contains all these qualities, essentially loving kindness and great compassion.
那菩提心呢，有许多很重的特征，包括了大悲心、大慈心等等。
But in order to truly have this attitude, wishing to attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings, we have to have an equal attitude towards all sentient beings.
那但是呢，在我们要升起这个为利有情、愿成佛这颗心之前呢，我们首先呢要对这些不同有情都升起平等心。
And for that, we have to work. We have to exert a certain amount of effort.
那为了达到这个平等心呢，必须要花一些力气，必须要做出一些努力。
And basically, what discriminates is our feeling of attachment towards those people who are nice to us, and our feeling of dislike and even hatred towards those people who we perceive to hurting us, harming us.
那我们这种就是不平等这种分别心呢，是来自于我们对我们喜爱的人所产生的贪心，以及对于那些我们不喜欢或甚至伤害我们的人产生厌恶或甚至嗔心。
Hurting us, harming us, or preventing us from getting what we wish.
那就是那些人可能是想要伤害我们的，或者是阻挠我们，或想要阻挠我们去获得我们想要得到的事物的那些人。
So, yesterday we practiced a method of generating equanimity. Today, the method we're going to be using is the one, as I said, that we find in the Sevenfold Cause and Effect method, where so yesterday was recognizing that just as I want happiness and don't want to suffer, so do all sentient beings. Here, we take a friend, we take an enemy, and we see what the basis of our attitude of friendship is. We analyze what the basis of our attitude of enemy dislike is.
就是在我们在昨天的教授当中，我们已经提到过了修平等心的方法。在那个时候呢，我们说平等心的方法是，就像我希望离苦得乐一样，一切众生呢都也希望离苦得乐。但是今天呢，我们所要修习平等心的方法呢，是属于七重因果教授中的修平等心的方法。在这个方法之中呢，我们要去分析，就是在我们眼前一个我们亲爱的人，还有我们讨厌的人，我们对他们升起嗔心以及贪心的基础，那些升起这些不同心态的基础到底是什么
？Really acknowledge that it's all based on whether someone has been nice to me or someone has not been nice to me.
我们会发现到呢，这些升起，对于冤亲呢，升起贪心以及嗔心的基础呢，这些其实就是来自于他人呢是否是对我是好的，或者对我是坏的。
and recognize the quality of attachment towards the friend, the quality of aversion or dislike, hatred towards the enemies. Acknowledge these.
就是我们要去很清楚的认出我们对朋友升起的贪心，以及对敌人升起的嗔心，这些贪心跟嗔心的它的特征或者特质。
And then think about how the friend has been an enemy many times in the past. The friend could easily be an enemy later in this life or in future lives. And in the same way, the enemy has been our friend, has been a dear friend in past lives, and could very possibly become a friend later in this life or in the future.
那接着呢，我们要去思维呢，在今生中的朋友呢，在过去呢，可能多次当过我们的敌人，然后呢，那也有可能就在这一生当中呢，或者在来生当中呢，我们原本的朋友呢，就转变成敌人了。那反之呢，我们现在认为是敌人的人呢，在过去呢，可能曾经多次当过我们至亲的好友，然后呢，可能在今生或者来生当中呢，从敌人就又转变成朋友。
If you truly recognize that, there is no longer the basis for discriminating between friend and enemy.
你如果能够真的深切的了解到这一点，那这个就是区别朋友跟敌人这个基础就消失了。
So that this analysis will lead you to seeing them equally.
那这种观察分析呢，可以让我们以一种平等心来看待这个朋友跟敌人。
You end praying again to the Buddhas that you may develop true equanimity.
那在观修的最后呢，我们要向佛陀呢去祈愿，愿我们的心绪当中呢，能够真实升起平等心。
And you can pray that all sentient beings develop true equanimity.
那我们可以祈愿呢，一切的有情呢也升起平等心。
And then you receive nectars that are removing obstacles to equanimity and filling you with blessings that generate equanimity.
那接着呢，我们要观想啊，如果这个佛陀呢降下了甘露在我们身中，然后呢，就是净除了我们升起平等心障碍，然后呢，在我们身心当中呢，升起那个感受到了佛的加持，加持我们升起平等心。
8 minutes.
接下来8分钟时间来做这个观修。
So, the next meditation, coming to recognize all such beings as having been our mother, does need an acceptance of past and future lives. The analysis that leads one to accept that we have had many past lives, and we've had many past lives as humans, we've had many past lives as animals, is one that, as I say, depends on that. So, my apologies to those of you who do not accept past and future lives. You can spend a little time trying to think about the explanation that I gave yesterday of how past and future lives are established, or the logic behind the establishment of past and future lives.
我们在接下来要做的观修呢，是要去了解到一切的友情呢，都曾经做过我们的母亲。那做这个观修的基础呢，是建立在这个要相信有过去生以及来生的三世过去、现在、未来三世因果这个基础上。所以呢，你要在这个观修当中呢，我们提到了我们在过去呢，曾经多次的，就是说当过人，就是做过人类，也多次也多生的做过动物。那这些思维呢，也是建立在这个三世有过去未来世这个基础上。那也因此呢，我对于在座各位，如果有各位呢，还不是对于这个有过去生与来生呢，还不是那么确信的，我感到抱歉。那如果是这种情况的话呢，你可以去在观修当中花一点点的时间，去回顾一下我在昨天晚上问答当中所提供给各位的一些思维，还有那些怎么样建立这个三世的一些逻辑思维。
And thinking that, think about consciousness, think about how each moment of consciousness would need a cause, and that there cannot be a first moment, and that therefore there was something that caused that first moment of consciousness at the time of conception, and simply explore the possibility of past, where that stream of consciousness would have going back into the past. And as you think about the whole idea of the infinite series of moments, you would therefore go back over many, many lives where you would need to be born.
到接着，我们也可以去思维我们的意识的这个序流。我们可以试着去观察每一刻的意识呢，都有它前一刻的因。那前一刻的因呢，又可以追溯到它更前一刻的因，然后可以这样去思维这个意识的序流，往时间往回溯，这个序流呢可以往前溯，然后你会发现到并没有所谓的意识呢，并没有所谓的第一因。然后我们也可以看到我们当我们这个受胎的那一刻的意识。它也是来自于前一刻这个意识的这个因此这个你可以一直往前去追溯这个序流，然后追溯到最后呢，你会发现呢，你可能就是说，可能曾经在就是投生，以各种形式呢在投生。
And once you've done that, and you think of your mother of this life, and you think that she has been your mother many times, and you think of your father, and you think that he has been your mother many times, and then you think of your other close people one at a time and think, this person has been my mother many times. And then you think of neutral people, and you think, this person has been my mother many times, and that person has been my mother many times. And then you think of enemies, people who cause you harm, people who bother you, people who somehow keep you from doing the things you want to do, and think each one of those has been my mother many times. So go through specific people, and then go on to more and more people and animals, and just imagine even insects and think each one of these has been my mother many times, like that. That thought, that process of thinking, and as Rinpoche said, initially we don't have a true attitude of that, but we have like a pretend attitude. You think, as I said, with the ants on the table, you think, this ant has been my mother many times, this ant has been my mother many times. And take that in your meditation, and also in life as you walk around and you think, that person has been my mother many times, that cat has been my mother many times, like that. At first it will be fake, but eventually it can grow into a true attitude of recognizing that each and every sentient being has in fact been your mother many times. So you end it again, pray to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that you may develop this recognition that all sentient beings have been my mother, and pray that all sentient beings develop this recognition, and then receive the nectars that remove obstacles to seeing sentient beings as your mother, and receive obstacles generating this attitude.
那在接下来观修当中呢，在我们确立有这个三世以后呢，我们接下来去观想思维从我们的母亲先开始我们的母亲呢，在这一生是我的母亲，可是呢，她在过去生呢也多次当过我们的母亲。接着呢，父亲也是一样，就是这个现在是我的父亲，他在过去生呢也多次当过我的母亲。接着呢，就一个一个的挑我们所熟知的亲近的朋友，要去了解到这个某某朋友在过去生曾经多次当过我的母亲。以此类推呢，我们把这个范围呢延伸到那些伤害我们的人、给我们找麻烦的人，还有那些敌人。最后呢，把这个范围呢慢慢延伸到就动物甚至昆虫。OK， 那就比如说我昨天所讲的，我桌上这个小蚂蚁，人家看到这个小蚂蚁的时候呢，可以说，这只小蚂蚁呢曾经在过去生多次当过母亲，那一只小蚂蚁也多次当过母亲。当然呢，就像Rinpoche所说的，当我们在做这样的观察的时候呢，我们的内心的这种思维呢，它是一种造作的这种知母的这种思维，并不是不造作的。但是呢，随着这个练习呢，它这个会慢慢从造作的变成不造作的。当我们慢慢熟悉这样的思维过程以后呢，接着呢，我们如果有一天到街上去，我们可以做同样的思维。当你街上看到某一个人的时候，你可以去想，这个人在过去生曾经多次做过我母亲，然后街上的某一只猫也在过去世曾经多次做过我母亲。当我们不断的练习之后，有一天呢，我们会得到会达成这个不造作的思维。那在这个思维的最后呢，我们要向诸佛菩萨祈愿呢，我们的心绪当中呢，能够升起，就是要能够认识到一切有情都曾经做过母亲的这颗心，同时呢，要祈愿一切的有情呢，也能够升起这样的心。最后呢，我们观想呢，从诸佛降下甘露到我们身中，尽除了帮忙阻碍我们升起知母这颗心的障碍。
7 minutes。
接着我们花7分钟的时间做这个观修。
we end by dedicating the merit. May all the virtue that we have accrued by this practice and by all our virtues of the past, may we dedicate this towards the happiness and full enlightenment of all sentient beings. 30 seconds.
接着我们花30秒时间来做回向，我们要将我们在这一座观修所累积的一些功德，以及我们从过去到现在所累积的一些功德，全部都做回向。我们回向一切有情人都能够达到安乐，达到最高的正悟。我们接下来花30分钟的时间来回向。
Thank you.
谢谢各位，感谢曼达。遥想天竺华山之大地，须弥四周之月说庄严，宛如佛土我的净供养，愿如流清风向自净土。伊拉布鲁勒那达尼亚那亚尼，愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。大众请起立。大众至诚礼谢诸佛菩萨及根仁波切。